Welcome back to another. Yeah, let's get started down this end of the couch.
Hey, Marc Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns guy.
David Sutton, Ravens.
Chris Adkins, Steeler Nation.
Yeah.
All right, so things are a little out of order this week, seeing as how there's only one game to really review here, so I'm just going to jump right in to the Steelers beating the hell out of a frozen Dolphins team that came up to Pittsburgh, and I think they expected the same thing that they saw earlier in the season. It just did not happen like I predicted last week. So 30-12 was the end score here. The Steelers, with our 35th postseason victory, are now the NFL all-time leaders in postseason wins.
Hey, you're aware that you guys had one playoff appearance before the league merger, and your one playoff appearance allotted you 0 points.
This is why I love this guy.
Blown out of the water.
This is why I love this guy.
Thank you.
35th postseason win.
It doesn't matter. It's an inaccurate
League record. It's an inaccurate record.
It's
It's
an
an inaccurate
The league
record.
has to take into account the AFL record too.
Thank you. I love
It's
this.
bullshit.
You guys are all over the AFL rule books. I will give you that.
Yeah.
I will give
You
you
don't
that.
have to. It's the truth.
All right. So I'm going to start with the defensive side of the ball.
Pay no attention to that.
I'm going to get right into what the only thing that pissed me off, the Bud Dupree hit. I
That was
like what he
some
was
bullshit.
thinking. I like what he was thinking. But that was, in my humble opinion, a very dirty hit. I saw an interview with him right after the game. He's still getting dressed and everything in the locker room, and he's like, "Oh, that's a clean hit." I don't think so, man. I mean, your helmet just smashed his helmet.
Nope.
Just boom. I
For
mean,
that, can't have none of that.
I will say that, like, on those, Roethlisberger threw what, 2 interceptions?
yeah.
Yeah, that was some nice moves on their D. I mean, they didn't do a lot on that game, but that was a nice game on their D on that.
Yep. Well, our defense did exactly what they had to do. I mean, the defense has really turned the corner. I mean, just night and day difference from earlier in the season.
I don't know. Their passing game was pretty legit. Like,
He
they
had,
had some really nice passes against your secondary.
He might have had like 280 or something like that, 280, 290, 1 touchdown, but they lost the game. They put up
They were
one
all in the red
touchdown.
zone, yeah.
They put up 1 touchdown. Shazier now has 1 pick in each of the last 3 games. I'm so sorry for talking so bad about him earlier in the season and last season.
You know, right?
And this defense as a whole, 5 sacks against Moore in this one game. To put that into perspective, we had 1 sack through the first 3 games of the season. 5 sacks in this one game. Like I said, total night and day difference. Ajayi had 33 yards in this game.
Yeah, Jahi was shut down.
33 yards in this game. Nothing going on. Flipping the ball over to offense. Brown and Bell had never scored touchdowns in the postseason before this game. In the first quarter alone, I think Brown had 119 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first
Courtesy of a
quarter.
60-yard pass and a 50-some yard pass.
Yep.
Come on, that ain't really
Yep.
working the field.
Nah,
That's
exactly.
just being
That's
fast.
just
It was just too
Yeah.
easy. I really don't think the Dolphins defense was ready when they came out. I think that cold kind of shocked them a little bit. They obviously were not ready to play at the beginning of that game. And we slowed down after that first quarter. I mean, we got the 2 easy touchdowns to start off and just kind of hung around with them for a little bit. But again,
Bell is so patient, though, guys. Bell is like the most patient.
On the whole.
On the whole,
He's
Bell
patient.
is so patient.
say what you want. And again, I made fun of him
He's
earlier this
patient.
season when he was rapping about his $15 million. Now I'm eating those words because he's not only our regular season
Because you weren't patient.
single game rushing record. He now has our rushing record for a single game in the postseason as well with 167. He punched one in himself. And I mean the Dolphins defense just really did not have anything for us. This was a dominant game on both sides of the field.
There were so many fumbles.
For
Like,
it's
somebody who
fumbles.
doesn't
It was
have a dog in this fight.
Yeah, not really.
That had to be the worst weekend of football.
It was
horrible.
Every single
It was
game
horrible.
Every single
All
game
the
was
games sucked. They
Yeah.
were officiated horribly.
Dude, the
because
ref on
because the NFL decided to not keep the
I
crews
thought that
together.
Seahawks game
That-
was trash.
That
That's
Seahawks was
because-
terrible. But the ref, even the ref on your game looked like he was looking to somebody to make. Am I
Yeah,
saying
was it
this
Ken-
right?
was it Ken- was it-
It was the right guard. I don't even know who it is. It's just the right
Here's what
guard.
happened. The NFL decided that they were going to take their best officials and regroup them for the playoffs. The problem is you have groups of people who have never worked together. You had crews. Keep the whole crew together. They got to know each other through the season, who did what, who was watching what, and you put these guys together. These were the first games they worked, and it didn't work. It was horrible. The officiating was horrible across the board, and the games sucked. I mean, it wasn't one game I watched. I watched the Packer-Giant game into the third quarter, but the other games, they were turned off by halftime, and I basically caught up on my DVR to see the one or two plays I wanted to see. But it was unwatchable football, and it's just a shame because it's a playoff weekend. It's supposed to be better than that.
You know, it's
so, I mean, I'm honestly surprised that the refs got the Boswell missed extra point right.
Right.
It's sad to start off with that snooze fest with Houston and the Raiders. That was a horrific game. I
felt so bad for the Raiders in that too.
Well, one thing I want to talk about.
I got no hate
Shit
on it.
happens.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about in this Steeler game, and I just can't figure it out. This is my one big gripe. This is my one big gripe about Tom.
Pouncey was out at center, so it affected their line. They were the shell of a team. They didn't have Tannehill. And then the idiot coach freezes footballs and practices in Miami.
Yeah.
He doesn't call one AFC North coach or AFC East coach and say, hey, can we come up on Tuesday, practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then go to Pittsburgh? That way you've had 4 or 5 days in the cold weather. No, the jackass freezes footballs and practices in Miami. So the team was nothing. They were nothing.
Yeah, should have played in the freezer. No, my one gripe about this game, and with Tomlin, he just does not know when to pull people out of this game. We're beating the hell out of the Dolphins early in the fourth quarter.
He keeps them in.
For 3 drives, Bell, Brown, Ben stay in the game when it's clearly out of hand. You could have been giving D'Angelo Williams the ball, get him a little bit of practice.
We need to go on the news too.
Is the ceiling stuck up?
Yeah, I know, right?
And I just didn't like it. As an end result, Ben's walking in the walking boot at the end of the game. It didn't have to be that way. Moving on.
Well, you would think, having seen what happened to Carr in a 31-12 game at the time or
You would
something.
think so. You would think so.
All right, so I already ranted about the worst football ever. I'm sure that everybody watching agrees. Bengal news, there's continued talk of Rex Burkhead will bump Jeremy Hill up to third string if they sign him. I would love to see it. Yeah. Not a Jeremy Hill fan. We'll keep him for his 4th year and then release him. We can replace him in the draft. In terms of free agents, I touched on this last week. You know, we have Zeitler and Whitworth are both free agents. We need to sign them both. Ogbuehi had a horrible year, and Eric Fisher might need shoulder surgery. So we need to shore up our line. Probably need to address that in the draft. One of the things I didn't get to talk about last week because I was running out of time was McCarron. We could trade McCarron and get draft picks. But if we hold McCarron, we'll probably get a 3rd round compensatory pick. Yeah. So a team's going to have to step up with a 1 or a 2 or a pair of 2s or something to entice us. Possible suitors. The Browns, although I don't think we want to trade within our division, I don't want to see A.J. McCarron twice a year. The other team I was thinking of that's possibilities if Cousins isn't signed in Washington. You might have Jay Gruden because it's coming from the same system. He didn't coach McCarron, but that might be a fit there. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. Either way, either we'll keep him for insurance for the whole season and then get a compensatory pick, or we'll we'll see what's out there. So the other thing is we're going to get other compensatory picks. We're going to get compensatory picks from Mohamed Sanu, Marvin Jones, and Andre Smith. So the cupboard should be full for us, especially if we make a deal with McCarron to fill restock the shelves. And then the other thing is I reminded everybody last week is we have Billy Jack III, William Jackson III, and Andrew Billings will be coming back basically as rookies in their 2nd year since they were hurt in the preseason. So, and I've seen a couple mock drafts. Both of them have right now the Bengals taking Derek Barnett out of Tennessee defensive end at the 9th draft pick. So that's Bengal news.
Excellent.
Cool.
All right, well, on to the future of the division. Truly we are. We fired Ray Horton the other day. We landed Greg Williams to replace him. In addition to getting rid of Horton, we got rid of Hal Hunter, O-line coach, Louis Chiaffi, D-backs coach.
It was like 5 of them, right?
Yeah.
Connor Matthews, assistant D-backs, except for Hal Hunter, he was the O-line guy. Ryan Slowick, outside linebacker, and Johnny Holland, inside linebackers. In addition to that, Pat Hamilton decided to take a gig in Michigan. He was
Jim
assistant
Harbaugh.
head coach. Greg Roman is the rumored name there. If they're going to get something done, probably within the next week or so. Supposedly Hayden had the surgery. Everything went well. He made the tweet that he's going to go to the Pro Bowl next year. We'll see about all that. And let's keep Kessler and go with Garrett and another defensive guy at 12.
So RG3 did not impress you enough to keep him.
No, I don't think so.
No,
Not in our division.
Can't stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on to Ravens. We had the State of the Union with the Ravens brass yesterday. A lot of interesting things came up out of that. Just listening to Steve Bisciotti in general was actually kind of enlightening to see, because he talks like a fan, like the disappointment of a fan, but as an owner, which is kind of refreshing. But he said something very, very telling, which was pitchforks are out. Right, so that means that like everybody in its own way is kind of in a hot seat.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Isaac could draft better.
Yeah.
The GM should
He
GM
could
better, and Harbaugh should be able to coach
better. Flacco should be able to play better. But he also made some interesting qualifiers. The last game, if you could like sum up the entire season, it would be bewilderment. Because we had a #1 rated defense, and then the last 4 games we're giving up 28, 30 plus points. Mm-hmm. And it's very accurate. The last game we played whenever we played you guys, I mean, our offense was there, and our defense just basically held you guys to like nothing the first 3 quarters, and then the last quarter just gave you 21 points.
There's 4 quarters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to digest there. The things that I'm really interested in, coming out of this week, was the possible 3rd round comp pick for Assembly. Colicchio, we might get a really nice pick out of that. Marty Morningweg right now is staying as the offensive coordinator. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel about that. Also tapping on your Greg Roman thing, there's also a rumor that Greg Roman is for the Ravens is being scouted for the running back coach. So
I don't know if I'm Greg Roman and I'm offered a offensive higher up position as an assistant head coach position, or a running back's position, I'm going to take the associate head coach's position because it gets me to where I want to be
I think
in
for
the future.
I think for Greg Roman, it would be a matter of comfortability, like who he knows, how he winds up in that system, how effective he is in that system. I think it's bigger than a question that you and I can just answer on
It's not just salary.
Yeah,
he's gonna have multiple offers.
Exactly.
It's gonna be coaches he wants to work with, environment he wants to be in.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot to go over whenever it comes closer to the draft. I always like saving my draft kind of notes until then. I'm weird that way. But the thing I wanted to say off is what a badass standoff that Steve Smith Sr. sent to to everybody whenever he resigned from the NFL this week. He sent a letter to Roger Goodell, literally saying, Mr. Goodell, I officially resign. I will no longer be antagonizing defensive backs. I resign.
So then the Scotty could go ahead and eliminate his questions about hoping that Steve Smith wishes to stay.
Oh yeah, he's not saying he's retired.
He's retired.
He's retired. He's done.
Because
that's
there was
official.
something that was written the other day about that and how he wanted, how he was praying that maybe he would come back for the 17 season.
No, I don't. He is 37.
Wow.
37 years old. No, I don't think that. I think he's done. I think he wants to take some time for himself. And that's pretty much it for Ravens news. Moving on to you coming up.
Moving on to happier news. We've got our game coming up with the Chiefs. Before I jump into this, I know a lot of people are talking about it. Joey Porter, I'm not even going to talk about you for one reason. It's because my mom doesn't like you. So I'm not even going to talk about that entire situation.
Come on, Mrs. Atkins. Give him permission.
She doesn't. My mom does not like Joey Porter. She hasn't liked him for a long
The
time.
guy's a dirtbag. Salt charges.
He was released, right?
In the 2000s. He's got a DUI in 2010.
No, I'm saying he was on
administrative leave.
Yeah, they let him go for the coaching position.
Well, they've got him on leave. They haven't officially.
I'm not going to talk about this though. I'm not going to talk about this. My mom doesn't like it.
Sure you don't want to talk about it?
Rooney's do the right thing and just fire the guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't belong in football. He doesn't belong mentoring anybody.
Don't
look
pull
at his track
Ray
record.
Rice.
Just
A
let him
Ravens
go.
guy is saying don't pull the Ray
You
Rice.
said that there's some good footage that's going to be coming out on him. That's not real
I think
documentary.
the end of that
So
story
that'll be the end of him.
is not completely.
Goodbye, Joey Porter.
So
I'd like to supersize my meal, Joey.
The Steelers are packing up, and we're going to head over to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs for the second time this season. The The last game, I want to say it was like 43-13. Beat the hell out of them first time. It was 30-0 late in the game. But the Chiefs think they're a different team this time around. I kind of don't see it. The thing about the Steelers, we're on an 8-game winning streak, and I just feel like we just keep getting better every week. We scored 24 points or more in all 8 of those games. I think it's a lot more of the same that's going to happen.
I keep past your hat.
This is my This Means Business hat. This is my This Means Business hat. I will be wearing this for the duration of the playoffs.
It means business wearing that.
I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. So you don't think there's going to be a difference in the Chiefs team in Arrowhead versus when they played you in Heinz Field? And you guys have been a Jekyll and Hyde team
on the road
outside of Heinz Field.
Absolutely.
So you don't think like you're acting like this is just going to be a cakewalk.
It's not going to be an ass whooping like the last game.
And the cold weather isn't going to bother the Chiefs. They're used to playing in it too. The Arrowhead's a tough place to play. Talk to any Raiders fan, Chargers fan. That it's a tough place to win. And then you've got, added to that, you've got Andy Reid, who's a master when he's given the extra week. He's got, I think he only has 1 loss. He might have no losses. You guys can check that out and let me know. But I know he's got a ridiculously amazing record coming out of the bye week.
Okay,
So you're talking about a well-coached team in Arrowhead with a good defense. And you're coming up, you're feeling good about yourself, but you just beat up a Miami Dolphins team with Matt Moore and no Pouncey at center.
Yeah.
So I'll play devil's advocate.
Oh my God.
So
I think
the Steelers.
I don't think he understands how devil's advocates work.
The Steelers' major issue on the road. I don't think it's a whole team thing. I really think it just comes down to how Ben plays on the road versus how he plays at home. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I see that being the major issue. It's really how Ben plays versus the whole team. I think he plays poorly on the road. I think the rest of the guys
I think
are
you're
a little
putting
bit more consistent.
way too much emphasis on him and not the entire team. I think that the entire team on the road just doesn't really quite gel. It's not the same team. It's not just one person.
I really think it's the quarterback play that's a little bit different.
Well, at least you'll know who to blame at the end of the game.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see now.
We're
The
stringing
Chiefs,
Roethlisberger
don't get me wrong.
out.
The Chiefs are playing some very good football right now. They beat the Broncos, they beat the Falcons in Atlanta, and the Raiders in 3 consecutive weeks. That was a Raiders team that still had Carr playing. So I'm not saying this is going to be a cakewalk by any means. What I'm saying is the Steelers team is firing on all cylinders right now. It's going to take more than an away game, a loud stadium, and a playoff team to, I think, put us out.
What about the Eagles? Whenever you guys played them.
What about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's where you lost.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia. Like,
That's
I mean, I know it was
part of
earlier
the-
in the
that's
season.
part of the road
but, like,
dogs,
you
but-
gotta understand that, like,
No.
it's.
It was early season when we had a rut. Those days are behind
This is
us.
why my money is on the New England Patriots Super Bowl, because I don't see Kansas City going into New England, and I don't see the Steelers winning 2 road games back to back in those 2
I just-
environments.
exactly.
I
Never played anybody good
So-
on the right. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So-
We got a mailbag. Right?
Yeah, isn't
All right,
it
So
Reddit
what's your
mailbag?
prediction?
Reddit mailbag. Oh, prediction.
What's
Hold on.
prediction?
I think it's going to be 31-27 Steelers.
31-27 Steelers. So your
Okay.
defense is going to allow 27 points. Okay.
The Chiefs are bitches. I mean, they're going to score some points. They got Spencer Ware back for this game. They're going to score some points. Macklin's going to do what he does.
All right. So let's move on to Reddit Mailbag.
Reddit Mailbag.
So here's how this works, guys. We have a Reddit mailbag. Basically, what happens is that we have questions from all 4 subreddits: Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers, blah blah blah. And we take your questions and we answer them live. We do not see these questions beforehand.
No.
So let's.
You can tell by our answers.
So-
we're telling the truth.
I'm a numbers guy. I don't read that well, so bear with me. I'm just seeing these
You want me to
questions.
read them out for you?
I know. I got to learn how to read
I know
sooner or
Steelers
later.
fans
Look,
are
he's
literate.
from
so-
Allegheny. Give him a chance.
Washington County. Washington County.
Vegas doesn't
All right. The Ravens get the first question here.
Alright.
It's going to be, who do we keep? Who do we give up with Wagner, B. Will, and Juice hitting the market? Ravens guy.
I mean,
What are the questions?
what? Just shut up. I would say that like I would like to. I mean, I don't hate on Wagner. I mean, well, yeah, but like, I mean, honestly, like if it's just those 3, like I would keep Wagner and Juice. I would definitely keep Juice. Juice. I mean, honestly, Juice more than any of them. So, all right.
All right. Tougher defense for Ben. Chiefs or Pats? I think it's the Pats because their offense stays on the field for so long. I don't think. I think we're going to score less against the Pats than we are against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'd say that's accurate.
Browns. Does Flacco pee sitting down? We'll keep it too quick.
I think he does.
Why would the
Bengals.
Browns want to comment on how
No,
Flacco eats?
exactly.
That's a Ravens
What
question.
is up with the Browns? So
Have you ever seen Flacco? Have you heard any fan reports of a
Bengals.
Bengals.
Do the Bengals go linebacker or DN in the first?
I think they go defensive end.
Yeah, I would say that.
All right, Bengals back to back. What does Marvin Lewis have to do to keep his job? Win a playoff
This
game.
person spelled half. HALF. I didn't say how does he have to?
He's going to have his job through next year, regardless. Mike Brown will not pay somebody who's not working for him.
Yeah.
That's why he took him so long. He was actually forced to cut Nugent. If he had given the chance, he would have kept Nugent in there just because he had to pay him.
Okay.
All right, Steelers. What impact, distraction will Joey Porter's arrest have on the team?
Yeah.
Should the FO fire him due to these actions? I'm not even going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Fired
and
and
should fire him.
suspended indefinitely.
Byron.
Brownies. I'm of the opinion we should keep Traymon Williams and play him as safety, use him for safety depth. Depth. What do you say?
Safety depth.
Depth.
Yeah.
Depth and more depth.
Ravens. Ravens.
I
Who
really
we
think-
draft with our pick or something?
Where? Where are you looking at?
See, clearly we didn't review these.
Who should we draft with our pick or something?
We're letting the Pittsburgh guy
I mean,
Jesus.
That's
we-
Baltimore County.
yeah, no, it's like there's still people like literally like going for the draft that would, it's like I still need to research on. So honestly, I don't know yet. There's a lot of unknowns yet. I can't give you an honest answer. Sorry.
Brownie, Garrett or Allen or quarterback at number 1?
You skipped a Steelers question.
I actually like Garrett. Since we're making that switch over to the 4-3, you have Agba on the one side, you got Garrett on the other side, you have Shelton in the middle, and you get Des Bryant back after injury next year too. And it gives us a really stud defensive line right there.
Malik Hooker or QB at number 12?
Hooker, if he's available. I say defense.
Fix O-line through free agency or through the draft?
I think we're really close to having this O-line pretty decent, so I think we continue with the draft and go third round with the draft guy.
What does Williams bring that will change
3 in a row.
defense?
The Browns?
Oh,
Yeah.
aggressiveness with an attitude. Everybody bitches about head hunting over here and head hunting over there, and they keep calling us lollipops. Well, I think they're going to have to get used to that. I mean, I hope that the bounty gate thing doesn't carry over into how he's coaching now,
Right.
but I hope he maintains that aggressiveness. The guy's a true winner right there.
All right, there's another Bengals question, but it's about Marvin Lewis. It's a duplicate, so I'm going to finish with the last Steelers question.
Okay.
What do you think the impact, or what impact do you think Tyreek, the convict, Hill will have on Sunday in special teams? We have kind of covered poorly on special teams. I mean, we're not a very strong defensive special teams team. I think that could be a game changer if they can return a kick or a punt on us.
Yeah.
Huge.
They're very unspecial on special teams.
Yeah.
Very unspecial on special
They're
teams. Yeah.
special in the little way that they need to ride a short bus with helmets. Yeah.
By the way, we're all talking about the one team that's still in the playoffs here. So I'm going to talk about the new subscribers this week. It's Sammy Slick, Lego Head 84.
Thank you.
Lego head.
You never see an avatar. He's talking about Brown, but Steelers fans know what we're talking about. Brady Smith,
Thank you, Brady.
Thank you, Brady.
Still,
Still.
Elmo B,
Elmo.
and Joshua Barak.
Joshua.
What else do we got this week, guys?
I think that's pretty much it for us. It's going to be a shorter show.
Northerners everywhere, social media.
Yeah, make sure you check us out, Facebook, Twitter as well. Don't forget to send in your emails right here, AFCNortherners@gmail.com. We send us your videos, we'll put those on air. Send us your questions. We also do the Reddit mailbag, so if you're on Reddit with any of the other subreddits for those teams, please comment. We'd love to get your questions. We do that every week. Also, if you like the show and you want to help us out, we're trying to make the show better, go to patreon.com/AFC Northerners and think about donating $2. Yeah, $2 would go a long way for us. So
I got to send a shout out
go for it.
to my Steelers fan friends down in Barbados. The small island of Barbados was cheering for the Steelers. They sent me a picture of them with their terrible towels after the game.
That's
I
awesome.
absolutely love that. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we good?
We are good.
Cool. All right, guys. So we're going to sign off here as we always do with Fuck the Patriots. See you next week, guys.
See ya.
Peter trying to make sure the whistle is operational.
He's
Frozen.
He's fair and balanced, Jim.
Yes,
He's
he
gone
is.
to the Steelers sideline, now to the Miami side. I think he's faking it. I just think he wants some more air.
So let me go over here and act like I've got to be there
Yeah.
for equipment issues.
Oh, I love it.
Hey fellow Northerners, we love the show. We want to make it even better.
You may have noticed we started showing game clips, and we have even more planned for you guys. So we need your help. We started a Patreon page to bring you our show commercial free for less than $5 a month.
For less than the price of a Grey Barbarian Knit Octopus beanie on Amazon, which is actually a thing, you should look that up, you can help make this show even better, including instant reactions to each game, a weekly podcast, in-depth analysis, and much more.
If you want to help us improve and you can spare a little change, go to patreon.com/AFC Northerners or click in the link below in the show notes to subscribe.
Exactly. We appreciate every one of your views, your comments, and your emails. Thanks for watching, and as always,
Fuck the Patriots.
thanks everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Look at me! I'm Dr. Zoidberg!